So this is week 2 of using the Canon R6, and it is an absolutely fantastic camera. But one of the biggest things that I had no clue was an issue with this camera that no one's talking about, probably because it got overshadowed by the overheating when the camera first came out, was the camera's crop sensor mode that it forces you into if you're using any kind of crop censored lens. And coming from the Red Komodo, I'm using the Sigma 18-35 and the Sigma 50-100 quite a lot, and those are both really high quality but crop sensor lenses. On the R6, when you use crop censored lenses, it does force you to use the crop censored mode, which is exactly 4K. Now that may sound like a good thing, but in the normal 4K mode on the full frame R6, you're actually using a downsampled 5.5K image going into 4K, so you do get cleaner images. When you look at the quality in the Canon R6 crop sensor mode, you can just tell there's nowhere near as much detail in the crop sensor 4K mode as there is in the full frame 4K mode. That's the downscaled 5.5K into 4K. That's why it's just a much cleaner, more detailed image. So right now we're using the 16mm 2.8 RF lens, so using the full frame sensor mode of the Canon R6. We are also shooting in the neutral color profile, so all the colors are baked in. Now we're shooting with the same lens, the Canon 16mm in C-Log3 with Cine Gamut on, and this is a much more cinematic mode where you can get a lot more dynamic range and color grade your image. Again, this is the full sensor mode, 5.5K downscale. Now let's take a look at what the Sigma 18-35 looks like in crop mode, but in C-Log3. One thing you're going to notice right away is there's just nowhere near as much detail in that crop video mode as there is in the full frame mode. Moving on to the TOKINA 11-16, we are now in the neutral color profile again, still in the crop video mode, and you can still see there is just nowhere near the detail that you get in the full frame video mode. Now the reason I say that this is the biggest problem no one is talking about is because ideally in this kind of a situation you'd say, okay, I'm just not going to shoot in the cropped video mode. However, if you're using a crop sensor lens, an EFS lens, when it reads in the R6, it forces you to go into the crop video mode. It doesn't let you shoot the full sensor if you disable it. Now, some of these lenses I'm using, like the Sigma 18-35 and the 50-100, they do have some usable focal lengths at full frame, and it would be much better quality video if I could use the full frame video mode option on those lenses just for some of those focal lengths than shooting in the crop mode, because as you see, you just lose so much detail. There's almost no reason, at least in my opinion, to professionally use crop sensor lenses on the Canon R6. So luckily for me, when I moved to the Red Komodo, I did get some RF lenses, and every single RF lens that is made by Canon is a full frame lens, because right now there's only one crop sensor Canon camera in their lineup, and it's the C70. So every lens is full frame. I have a few right now, so I will be testing out the Canon R6 against the Red Komodo with RF lenses to see if they actually look better on the R6. I have a sneaky suspicion that with Canon's in-camera fixes of some of the lens profiles like the 16mm, they're really going to shine on the R6 over a camera like the Red Komodo. So stay tuned. I'll have a link in the description when that video comes out. If you have any questions about today's video, please make sure to put them in the comments below. And if you got value out of today's video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Till next time, thank you for watching, everybody. My name's Geoff Fagien, and I will see you in the next video.